Hey friends, so for BlackSmith Adventures episode number 4, we go to CapitalCon. CapitalCon is an amazing event put on by the Family Office Club. Centimillionaires, billionaires, ultra wealthy, ultra high net worth folks that assemble, get together to talk about raising money, talk about entrepreneurship, talk about real estate, talk about what's going on in their lives, investing, etc., etc. Global event, awesome, a lot of cool people, way out of my league. Big time invitation came my way to talk at CapitalCon 2021, which happened yesterday, July 29th. Super excited to be a part of that. Super nervous to put something out. I put out this message, which you'll see here in a minute, to an audience of entrepreneurs, investors, private equity companies, fundraisers, and got to speak alongside some of the most acclaimed fundraisers that are out there today. So these folks have raised millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars. Our mission at BlackSmith Ventures is simply to use business, companies, to impact the lives of others, provide confidence to people who don't know just how to reach their limits. Let people know that there is a ceiling and you can bust up out of that ceiling and find new ceilings and keep growing and developing and maturing. There is no stopping. Dream big, dream wild, dream crazy, and you can reach those dreams. You're only limited by your dreams. There are connections out there to help you get there. Relationships matter, networking matters. Put yourself out there, forget the boundaries, get rid of fear, and you can live a life that you've never imagined. Live a life of infinite reward. All right, so here it is. My speech yesterday at CapitalCon 2021. It was a virtual event. 387 people attended. I sing a little bit. Enjoy. There's an old song by Johnny Nash that I bet most of you know. I'm going to sing you the first 2 verses to show you why I am an engineer, operator, entrepreneur, investor, and 100% not a singer. The first line of the song goes something like this. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. The next line. I can see all obstacles in my way. Let me compare how my song would go if I was writing those verses. I can see only as far as one moment away. The second line. Who put all these obstacles in my way? Our path is never straight and never so pretty. How many of you have heard of the concept of acceleration of human knowledge and technology over time? It's a mouthful. From 1 AD until 1500 AD, human knowledge doubled one time. What do you think sparked that event? The printing press was invented in Germany in 1440 AD. Get this, human knowledge then doubled again, but this time it only took 250 years instead of 1,500 years. The next doubling took even less time, 150 years. So by 1900, the world had 8 times the accumulated knowledge it had since 1 AD. It gets super more interesting. Knowledge doubled again between 1900 and 1950. Then again by 1970. Oh boy, get ready. With the invention of the internet, it is estimated that doubling time is down to less than a year and maybe increasing even as fast as an hour. Mind blowing. If you were here today at CapitalCon, you already understand there is an opportunity to impact this world at scale like never before. So how do we, us'uns, make an infinite impact on this very messed up world? That's the question. In 2012, we were in the due diligence phase of selling my first company, my 5-year-old baby, that we had grown from a $30,000 investment to an eventual 8-figure exit. Our goal when we started, it was really simple. We just wanted to get enough money to pay ourselves a salary. During what would be a 6-month due diligence period, I got asked by the private equity firm that was acquiring the business one question that I could not answer, and I had knocked about 100 out of the park. The question was simple. What would you do with a $5 million investment into your business right now? Well, I had no idea. I was floored. I don't know if I even understood that question. I understood it, but I didn't know if I could even really process that question. We don't need that money to grow our business. We're growing, I thought. We had reached our goal of making a salary and maybe a little bit more. We were good. We had 70 people and life was good. They were happy. We were past all the hard startup days and starting to maybe get into some momentum. Sadly, that's the ceiling of what we could envision at that time. And unfortunately, I think our story is more common than we might think. So I equate mindset and the mindset problem to this. Imagine you're sitting on an airplane runway getting ready to take off. We're at ground level, it's crowded, it's congested, it's rainy, maybe slippery and muddy, and sometimes we're having a good day and we're dry, and sometimes we're with our face down in the mud and people are walking on our backs and it's just all over. Well, now imagine you start to take off. You're starting to head toward the clouds. You're accelerating. You notice that the clouds still look dark and bumpy and some are white and thick, and you start to hold on to your seat a little bit more because you know it's about to get bumpy as you get to that cloud level. Well, this cloud level, is the vision cap for many founders and entrepreneurs. Let's ask ourselves this question for a minute. What happens when you break through the clouds? Well, you start to immediately see amazing sunlight, amazing rays of light. Your eyes start to see as far as they can physically go. You might see some planets up in space. Now let's think a little further and challenge ourselves a little more. Richard Branson and Jeff Bezos showed us that when you give your mind limitless boundaries, limitless constraints, and ginormous dreams and visions, anything and everything is possible. A mentor of mine, David Doherty, has put words to the traits leaders need to take their companies from startup phase to momentum phase, much like Branson and Bezos just did in the space journey. The first is mindset. The second is the resourcefulness of our leadership team. So let's double click for a minute on mindset. I believe the first and most important mindset trait is humility. When pride, the opposite of humility, creeps into our leaders and our organizations, is we start to see a few things happen. Our minds start to close as we get comfortable with what has worked in the past. We start getting resistant to change. That's a big one, right? I've also seen that our network of influence, our people around us, starts to shrink. Our circles get tighter, our reliance on self increases. And it doesn't take long before we start really resisting change, resisting advice, and our businesses start to decline. So it was back in November of 2019, I was given a book as a gift by Carrie Newhoff titled Didn't See It Coming. As I read through the book, it hit me that pride had crept into my mind, my body, my soul. I didn't ask for it, didn't want it, but all of a sudden I was relying on me, my way, my successes, my wins, my beliefs. And as I read the book, I discovered that humility is the kryptonite to pride. So the first thing I did is I realized I needed to change my circle. I needed to broaden that out, my network. So guess what I did? You're gonna love this. December of 19, signed up to go to the Family Office Club Summit. This was the big one, the year-end event. Grant Cardone, Kevin Harrington, Biscayne Bay, Ritz-Carlton, boom, it was the big one. I took 7 pages of notes and was exhausted after the 3 days. But to this day, I believe that event set the foundation for humility and a changed mindset. And remember, this was just 1 month after reading the book. So when it's time to act and make a change in your life and your companies, act fast. 2 traits I've learned over the years that came to me more in the crock pot method, so over time, versus maybe the microwave lesson of humility, which came real quick, is perseverance and faith. Have you ever noticed how hungry we get when we get desperate? How about how creative you get when money's tight? How about how driven you find yourself when your back is up against the wall and failure is chasing you down? We meet so many entrepreneurs who are attracted to the sexiness of being a business owner. I found that sexiness starts to wear off real quick like when asked, how about you invest your own money? How about you go without a salary until you reach profitability? How about you sacrifice that vacation or maybe that free time for the business? Faith. Faith is defined as complete trust or confidence in something you can't see. Let me go back to my beautiful singing song from the beginning. I can only see one moment away. Well, we can only live in the present, but know through faith that tomorrow will come, no matter what you're up against. So let's go back to that unanswered question from 2012. What would you do with a capital injection into your business? It took me finding humility and years of lessons to learn that with proper mindset, a resourceful team, and adequate funding, yes, adequate funding, we can change from making a finite impact on a few to a generational impact on many. So I encourage you to embrace humility, accelerate up through those clouds, and find your rainbows. Our time here on earth is finite. The impact we can make to this world is infinite. My name is Andy Smith, and I thank you for your time today.